Guys, Mr. Bowman here. This video is for Year 12 Calc. We're going through the sniper practice task, and this is for 2.14 systems of equations. So let's scroll down. Here's our context. Here's our equations. We've got a diagram, first question, second question. I'm going to do my working on the other side of the screen here. Let's read through the question. So a sniper is situated at point A, and we can see that's been labeled up the top over here. And he's in front of two buildings, the circle tower, I'm guessing that's the circled one, and then we've got the curved apartment block, I'm guessing that's the curved one over there. Normally at this stage, what I'll do is I'll try to match up the equations with the lines. So the straight line is going to be number 1, y equals mx plus c. The next obvious one is we've got x squared, y squared. So those equations will always be the circles. And that leaves the last one being the hyperbole. So we'll get rid of all that. In the meantime, question number 1. If the given line represents the sniper's first shot, at what point or points does the shot enter and exit the building of the circle tower? Your answer should be described in context. So underline, describe in context. If you don't describe, you won't be passing. So let's get into the maths behind this. So task number 1. It's randomly changed pen colors on me, but there we go. Task 1. I'm going to start by describing my context. So we're talking about the sniper's first shot. So the first shot will enter and exit the circle tower at the points of intersection, between the circle tower. And normally what I do is I'll give the equations so I can link the maths with the context. So x plus 4 all squared plus y squared equals 9, and the shot path. The shot path, and that equation, that was the nice linear line, y equals 4x plus 7. So that's my first little bit of context to get me into the question. I'm then going to solve for these. So I know what my two equations are, and I'll just restate them for my working. So there's the first equation, and there was the second equation. Just a reminder, if we do go back to the other diagram, we can see the 2 points here. So they're the 2 points we're trying to calculate. So let's get back into it. So we know that 4x plus 7 will be equal to x. Oh gosh, I just realized that's not right. So what we're doing is we have the y squared over here. We're going to substitute in the 4x plus 7 from before. So x plus 4 squared, and then plus 4x plus 7 all squared. That's going to be equal to 9. Now this step's really, really important. A few people are going to be tempted just to expand it to be x squared plus 16, but 100% do not do that. That's definitely wrong. And then we've got 4x plus 7. 4x plus 7 equals 9. If you see these squares on top of the brackets, make sure 100% always write them out as a double bracket. You are way, way more likely to make silly mistakes if you do that. We then expand the brackets. X squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16. We're then going to add 16x squared plus 28x plus 28x plus 49. And at this point here, we've got the positive 9. I'm going to move this to the other side as minus 9 equals 0. Messy line of working. We group together our terms. X squared, 16x squared here. So we've got 17x squared, 8x. That should have been bad. That's a bad one, so that should have been 2. And 56x is 64x. And then we've got 16 and 40 makes 56. That there is equal to 0. So that's our quadratic. Big fan of that stage because the rest is just solving from there, and the calculator can do that for us. We're going to pull out our A, B, and C values. And don't forget, the graphics calculator uses a step here. If you don't know how to use your graphics calculator to solve this part, you got to ask your mates, you got to ask your teacher. Really, really important. So A is going to be equal to 17, which is from the x squared. B is going to be 64, and then C is going to be 56. And when we plug that into our calculator, it's going to give you two answers for x. So x1 is going to be equal to negative 1.383, and I've rounded that to 3 decimal points. And our second value for x, x2, that's going to be equal to negative 2.381, also rounded to 3 dp. So we've now got the x values. Now, normally here you make a reference to your diagram to see if you've got it right or wrong. So if we go down, is that slightly above 1? Yeah, probably. And then this one here, also negative as well. So that probably means we didn't make any mistakes. To be aware, the diagrams won't be perfectly to scale, just like we got here. But we can see we're expecting both of them to be negative, which probably means we have done it right. No silly errors on the way. Now that we've done that, we can go ahead and calculate the y values. So y1, that's going to be y equals 4x plus 7. I'm going to substitute in the x from above times negative 1.383 plus 7. And when I calculate that, that's going to get me to 1.468. And that was also affected by a 3 dp rounding. And that makes sense because we're expecting that first point to be negative. We can then calculate the second value for y. So same thing, y equals 4x plus 7. That's going to be equal to 4 times negative 2.381 plus 7. And that there's going to get me to negative 2.527. Well, 524, also 3 dp rounding as well. Now that I've got those points there, I might have to actually make some more room on my sheet to finish off this question. We can then go ahead and explain what our final answers are. So let's put them in as a coordinate, negative 1.383, comma 1.468. And then we got on the other side, negative 2.381, negative 2.524. I'm now just going to state them with a bit of a sentence, a bit of a context. So the first shot, oh gosh, first show, not fish, first shot will enter the building at point, and this is where I'm just going to state the coordinate of the first shot, negative 1.383, and then 1.468. And key thing, enter. And how I got that as to enter is I was expecting the one with a positive y value to be the entry, and the one with a negative y value will be the exit. So we'll carry on from that. So that's why this one here had a positive y value. And exit at, and then I'm going to state the other point, negative 2.381, and then negative 2.524. So that there is the achieved criteria. So what I've done is I've found the 2 points and I've stated in context. So that gets me achieved. So I'll just summarize that. Achieved, points found, and with working, that's really important. And then stated / described in context. There we go. So that there is the achieved criteria. Hopefully you found that pretty challenging, because the algebra is nice and fun for these ones here, but it is pretty challenging as well. So this ends the achieve part. The next video I do, that's going to go through the merit and the excellence criteria. There will be a lot more tricks and nasty little issues coming up with that. But hopefully it's something we should all be aiming for as well. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Now keep an eye out for the task 2 video.